Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got an audio treat. This is a sound system demo of the Bowers & Wilkins system in the 2020 Maserati Quattroporte. This is going to be an in-depth sound system test. I'm going to take a listen to some sample tracks, check out how the audio system works, get out on the road, listen to some tracks while we're driving, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. So before we get started, let's hop out, take a quick look at this beast. So this is the Quttroporte S Q4, meaning it's a little bit sportier and it's got all-wheel drive. So this car in essence has not been upgraded since 2013 significantly, but it's still fighting for relevancy here in 2020. If you want to see more on the car, check out our full review. Link to that will be in the description when it posts not too long after this. So this is a $2,000 upgrade for the Quattroporte, giving you 1,280 watts tuned by Bowers & Wilkins, pumped through 15 different speakers. So let's go through and take a look at where we can locate all these speaker grills. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I bet you there's a subwoofer in the trunk. Well, can't necessarily see it, but I can definitely feel it. You can probably hear that too. It's definitely strong, so I think we've got a solid 15 in here. So we always do these sound system tests with uncompressed WAV audio files plugged directly into the audio system and 2 high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system experience here on YouTube. For common listeners to our channel, you may notice we've got some new tracks here. A lot of you have been requesting some more bass-heavy tracks, specifically this one right here, Red Lips by Deoxys Beats. So we got that added back in, and the reason I did it was because I was sitting here testing out the sound system here in the Maser, and it was so good that I just couldn't justify only using the 5 tracks we typically do. So I went on, I downloaded the uncompressed versions of these songs, and put them on my phone, and then we're plugged in with Android Auto here for these 3 tracks. However, I do still have my trusty 5-song setup here, as well as some other uncompressed audio on this USB stick. So I'm actually going to swap that out here in a second, listen to some of those other tracks, and we'll finish up with some of these Deoxys Beats songs. Just wanted to give you guys a good experience for the bass and the power that this car has. So let's swap that out now because this song is actually quite short. So let's go through and talk about audio inputs here in the Quttroporte. You've got your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, as well as a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, Bluetooth, an SD card, and a USB slot. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, the only thing I can think is a CD player. No CD in here, no CD or DVD. That's a little bit of an omission for a big-time luxury car like this with a high-quality audio system, but also not too surprising to see that out of here in 2020. It is kind of nifty that a few of these inputs are tucked behind this plastic thing, this cover, but I can't really show that closed right now because we've got stuff plugged into the USB port. In terms of audio control, you have a volume rotator knob right here. It's got some good detents. The turns is a little too easy for me, but it's not bad and it's in a good location. Then you also have behind the steering wheel here, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, but you have up and down volume controls right out of any other Fiat Chrysler product. For track selection, this one's a little bit weird because you've got touchscreen here, steering wheel, but then no physical track selection button. You can use this to sort of move around and then select this part on the screen. but you can't actually just click back and forth track from anywhere without using the touchscreen. So say you're in nav, you're viewing the map, then there's no way to change song without using the steering wheel. Not a huge deal, just kind of strange on their part. This touchscreen does work really well though, and it's just a reskinned version of Fiat Chrysler's Uconnect system. So if you've ever used something in the Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, it's going to be just about the same, just with a little bit different layout, and of course the Maserati logo. We always do these tests with all the audio settings set to their factory default. So you have your front, rear, left, right, balance, and fader that's centered out, equalizer, bass, mid-range, and treble. Let's go through those now. We also have some speed adjustable volume control. We're going to change that to 1. Surround sound on and off. So turning that off just makes the music feel a little bit more like it's coming from the doors, a little less use of that center speaker. Turning it on gives you more of that 360 approach. We're going to leave it on because that's how it's defaulted. We also got this clarify setting here. It's supposed to, it wants to restore some sort of sound from uncompressed music like satellite radio or when you're streaming Bluetooth, but technically these songs are uncompressed, so there is no audio loss, but we'll turn it on anyway and just listen to the difference. So I was actually impressed playing around with this clarify function because even though these are uncompressed songs, it sort of just exaggerates certain elements of the sound profile. And for most music I listened to, it sounded quite good. It helps a little bit more with music like this, a little more rock, crisp sounds. Hip-hop and R&B, you don't notice it too much. So we're gonna leave it off for now, but we might turn it on later on in the test. All right, song's over, so let's switch on to the next one. Fire it up. Get on the road. Before we get going, let's do a quick listen of this exhaust note. Sounds good with the window open, sounds raspy, but the window closed, you can barely even hear it. I guess you can hear it a little bit, but you can't really hear it while you're driving. Anyway, save the rest of that for the review. Alright, now that we're up to highway speed, I'll let you hear what the Maser sounds like at 70. So it's pretty refined. Not the quietest in its segment. It's a little bit more road noise than I'd like to hear, but wind noise is pretty low, and there's a tiny bit of engine drone as well from the exhaust. But not awful. Now with this song playing, I'm going to turn on that clarify, and we'll see if we notice a difference. Now with that song, it almost seemed a little bit fuller with clarify off, so I'm not too surprised by that, considering this is a pretty dynamic song, and clarify is supposed to kind of enhance some of those parts that might have been missing from a compressed audio file. For those of you who watch our channel regularly, you know this song can really bring a lot of systems to their knees and kind of bring out any of their weaknesses. It takes a lot for this song to sound good on an audio system. And here in the Maserati Quattroporte, it sounds great. We're hearing a lot of different sounds come through. Nothing's too harsh on the ears. There's a power underneath. Everything's balanced really nicely. I'm impressed. Now, we're going to switch back over to Android Auto. Listen to more of that kind of hip-hop sort of track. Get a listen for the bass here. And we'll wrap things up. I'm not sure how well you can see it in the camera, but this song is actually shaking the mirrors both outside and inside here in the Quttroporte. It sounds very good. The bass is very strong. I could just drive so many hours in this car, tucked away, just listening to this good, solid music, awesome, crisp sounds, really powerful. That's what I really look for in a really strong audio system. Some of the top ones we've had, the Volvo Bowers and Wilkins, the Mark Levinson and the GX460, I'm blanking on the name, but the system that's in the GLS 580. I mean, those songs, you could feel everything, every instrument had its own place, and there was a strength to the music, even not necessarily the deep, low bass sounds, but it's more in the mid bass when you can really feel that sort of sound come through in your chest. That's what I like to see, and that really is a trademark of a good audio system. And this Quattroporte has it. So all in, if I were giving a rating for this Quttroporte Bowers & Wilkins $2,000 12,800 watt 15 speaker audio system upgrade, it'd have to be about a 9.5, guys. It doesn't get all too much better than this. Part of the reason that the system scores so well is this very easy to use infotainment system. You've got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's a very intuitive, straightforward touchscreen. It's within easy reach. It looks, the resolution might not be quite as high as some competitors, but it looks much better than the Lexus. It's easy to use. You do have this optional rotator knob if that's more your thing, if you don't want to get thumbprints on there or something like that, or fingerprints. So not only does it have awesome audio quality, sound great in all sorts of different music, but it's easy to use. Can't get much better than that. From a subjective rating, in terms of other high-end luxury sedans like this, I'm probably putting it at about a 9. I haven't really had a chance to test audio systems in many high-end luxury vehicles, but I would say this beats the 7 Series, and it comes very, very close, but beats it by just a little tiny bit as well, the Genesis G90. So we'd be a bit remiss to test a high-end luxury executive sedan like this without checking the audio quality in the rear seats. So let's head back there now. So there's no dedicated audio controls back here, and that's a bit of a disappointment. So we'll just listen to this song as is, see what we think. Now this is interesting. I'm not sure how well it'll come through on the microphones, but the mid-range bass sounds are virtually absent from back here. It's just weird. I can hear the lower bass, but something about sitting, I can hear it more from up there, but back here the bass is really missing. So I suppose if we were judging strictly on rear seat audio quality, Maserati would lose a little bit. But I don't want that to reflect against all the other cars we've tested, only in the front seat. Either way, I hope you guys were able to get a good impression for the Maserati Quattroporte's Bowers & Wilkins audio system here. If you're a common watcher of our channel and you like these new tracks or you have any opinions on them, let us know. We're hoping to kind of give a little bit more breadth to the audio tests here, and we think they're a good fit. But if you're new to the channel, and you like this video, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a bunch. Check out the full review on this Maserati coming soon, and check out some of our other sound tests and reviews. We've got quite a bunch. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.